Hi, I'm Jeff Glixman. I've been making records my entire adult career. I've produced music in over 200 studios around the world on almost every kind of equipment you can think of. People ask me what makes a great record. This is a very interesting question because a great record means different things to different people. For me, the greatest record is one that becomes part of the fabric of our society, that makes a statement about the times in which it was recorded and the people that were alive during this time. The music, the lyrics, the arrangement. If that's right, everything else is secondary. It may be a song that was generated through software in somebody's bedroom. It may be a song that was recorded in the old CBS studios in New York with a 100-foot high ceiling and an 83-piece orchestra. It doesn't matter. What matters is that an emotional experience was captured. I started out playing in bands. I never worked in a studio in my life. It's just a matter of fact, when growing up in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, there weren't really any studios to work in. But I was playing with the guys that would later become the band Kansas. We had several variations of the band, but I quickly moved from performance into production. As a producer, I may know how to edit, I may know how to engineer, I may know how to play all the instruments, but that's not my job. My job is to work with my artists to help them deliver the songs they have written or that someone has written in the fashion in which they hear them in their heads. So anyway, we have this session set up in a great studio with a great band. We also have a limited amount of time to do this, so it was very, very important that our equipment was up to the task. I had been speaking with the gents at PreSonus, and we decided that we were going to go ahead and give their platform, Studio One, their DAW, a try, and they were going to bring the StudioLive controller because it's a lot easier and more interesting to work when you have a physical interface for your software. And I also wanted to give their interface, the Quantum, a listen to and see how it holds up. I've always compared everything to analog input because I think that's the best way to evaluate what you're listening to. And fortunately here at Esplanade, we have a beautiful Neve console, so if it sounds good coming through the Neve, I don't want to destroy it by getting it through the interface and finding out the converters couldn't deliver what I was hearing. The Quantums do a fabulous job. They've been flawless. There's been no glitches. Perfect. Same with the software. It's very easy to use. It's user-friendly. It interfaces well with the StudioLive, and although we're still in the tracking stage, we have hit no issues at all. You know, when they're on it, I want to record. I don't want to think about the equipment. I want the equipment to be invisible, and that's the best thing I can say about the PreSonus gear. It's easy to use, it's invisible, it delivers, and when we listen to it back, it sounds like what I heard going in. I also decided to try some speakers made by PreSonus called the Sceptre S8. I can relate to almost any studio monitors or any speakers as any good professional can. These Sceptre S8s are great, and I'm just telling you this honestly, I plan to have a set in my home because they're just what I want to listen to. They're loud, they're clear, they're soft, they have good bass response at low volume, and the frequency curve stays the same throughout the power bandwidth, which is important. Sometimes you listen low, sometimes mid-range, sometimes loud. With PreSonus now is compete head-on with every other piece of gear I would use on a project. I'm really comfortable with the gear. I really like what I'm using a lot. It sounds great. Everything's working perfectly.